Hi, everybody. I wanted to do a video on my own to break into 2 days the Unit 7, Lesson 5, factoring trinomials. This is absolutely one of the most important things in algebra because we're going to be using it for the rest of our algebra career. And it is going to come back to us through geometry, through Algebra 2, etc. So we definitely want to take some time and a few days to go over this. So I've created my own slides, so definitely print off or just write on a notebook these questions. And I called it 2020 factoring trinomials. I want to point out that all these are going to start with the number 1 in front. And you're going to say, well, not all of them do. But I'm going to show you on page 3 what's going to happen. We're going to have to actually plot a GCF first. In any case, I want to go over with you how to do these. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. The directions will be factor. First thing we need to do always is make sure it's in standard form. What's standard form? Largest to smallest exponent. And I have up on the top factoring x squared plus bx plus c because I'm saying that the lead coefficient, the first number in front of the x squared, is going to be a equals 1, which we see there. So I don't even have to talk about a, but that's what would be in front of the x squared. A 1 would be there. So let me just draw out a 1 there for you. So technically there's a 1 there, but I don't need to worry about that. So my steps are going to be as follows. I'm going to factor. Whenever I hear the word factor, I think of parentheses. Okay? So I'm thinking of parentheses. I hear the word factor, I think parentheses. You should as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find the factors of the C term. Okay? The C term is going to be the third, in this case, when it's a trinomial, the third number, the constant. And you're going to want to try and find the pair that adds up to the B term. Now, what I always do, and this is where I want you to do it as much as possible, only because if you have a formulaic way of doing things, you're going to get it right. If you're kind of bebopping around all over the place, it might be more challenging. So, oops, let me just get rid of that. I wanted to move this. So how I want you to do it is as follows. I want you to create a table. And what the table is going to look like is a mirror image. Think about a mirror. If there's a mirror here, right? If there's a mirror here, I'm going to be flipping it over and I'm going to be saying I want the factors of 12 that when added together give me positive 7. Okay? So what I want to do first is I want to write down all the factors of 12. So obviously we have 12 times 1. We have 4 times 3. We have 2 times 6, and then we have negative 2 times negative 6, negative 4 times negative 3, and we have negative 12 times negative 1. Okay, right? So you want to make a list of all the factors. Now, eventually, when we start getting more advanced with this, you're going to say, oh, I know exactly what it is, and you're going to jump right to it. But I wanted to go through this with you, how I would do this from scratch. So I'm looking for them to add up. I'm just going to literally do what it says, either add or subtract, whatever it says to do. So I'm going to do 12 plus 1, which is 13. Does that add up to 7? No. 4 plus 3, does that add up to 7? Yes. Okay. 7 plus 6, does that add up to it? No. Negative 2 plus negative 6, does that add up? No, negative 8. Okay. Negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7, and negative 12 minus 1 is negative 13. By the way, there will always only be one answer. Always, only one answer. So certainly when you get to the first answer and you're like, I got this, you're going to want to circle that. What I'm going to do with that information is I'm now going to put it into place into my parentheses. I'm factoring. I'm reversing when I distribute. So factoring is reverse distribution. So what I'm going to do is, let me just actually put these things together so I can move them over because I want to have more room for myself. So I'm going to group this and I'm going to do that. Okay, fine. So let's do this factoring now. This should be over here. Boop. Okay. So we're going to do the factoring. So how am I going to do this? Well, first of all, whenever I'm putting parentheses in, boop, right? Okay. This first number, we know when we're doing first in FOIL, F-O-I-L, the first number is always going to be the first number times the first number. Well, obviously, if it's 1, the only two numbers it can be are going to be 1 times 1. Or in this case, it's going to be 1x times 1x. I'm just going to write x. There's no real reason to put the 1 in front. It would just be, extra added information that we don't need. Then I'm going to put exactly what I wrote over here that I circled in parentheses. Sorry, what I circled. So it's plus 4 and plus 3. And I'm done. Now, how could I check that this is right? FOIL it. First, x squared. Outer, plus 3x. Inner, plus 4x. Last, plus 12. Put like terms together, 7x, and bring down the rest. Okay, so this is my check. This is my check. Let me change it to a different color. This is my check. Okay, and this is my solution. I'm just going to box it. I don't like to circle answers, but that's my answer. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, so what do we have here? So I'm going to go through it, the same steps. Now, it's a little bit harder, only because the numbers are going to be bigger. So we want to think of all of the factors of the C term. It's a mirror image, 48. That when added together, in this case, give me negative 14. Now I see the negative. That negative is going to be a clue that probably all my numbers are going to be negative. Why? Because I have a positive x, I'm sorry, a positive 48, but my adding together gives me negative. So I'm going to start with my negatives right off the bat. So 48, I have negative 48 times negative 1. I have negative 24 times negative 2. I have negative 12 times negative 4. I have, what else do I have? I have negative 6 times negative 8. Do I have any others? I'm sure I do. I have 3. Let me put it on my calculator. Divide by 3, 16. Let me pull this down. I have negative 3 times negative 16. And that's all of them, because then I flip back down to 2, etc. I'm going to stay with the negatives. Certainly, you could go and do all the positives, but I know it's going to, this is a clue for me. Because 48 is positive, multiplying two numbers together could be positive, 2 positives or 2 negatives, but the adding together is negative. So I know that it has to be 2 negatives. So let's see. So negative 48 plus negative 1 is negative 49. That's wrong. Negative 24 times negative 2 is negative 26. That's wrong. Negative 16 times negative 4 is so close. Wrong. Negative 16. And negative 6 plus negative 8 is going to be negative 14. That's my answer. If you want to keep going, you can. There's 19, and that's wrong. So my correct answer, factors, are going to be negative 6 and negative 8. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put my parentheses. Okay. My first term, because this lead coefficient is 1, I'm just going to do x times x. X times x is x squared. We got this. Now I'm going to do whatever it says to do with what I found with my factors. I got negative 6 and I got negative 8. Okay. And if you want to, you can certainly FOIL it and confirm that it's right. Okay. Moving right along to the next one. So I'm going to make this a little smaller just so I can have some room. So the next one we have x squared plus 8x, minus 8x plus 16. And I want to do the same thing. So I want you guys to start following along and maybe doing a little bit quicker, maybe even pausing it so we can kind of move quickly through all these things. Okay, so we're going to go find the factors of 16 that when added together give me negative 8. So I have, again, it's negative, so I'm going to do 2 negatives times negative 1. It's times negative 4 times negative 4. Oh, I missed negative 8 times negative 2. So this is negative 17. Ooh, this is it. Boom. And again, if you want, you can stop right there, but I'm just going to finish up and do this. So my number is that. So unlike the homework from yesterday, these are not conjugate pairs. They're not conjugate pairs because conjugate pairs are the same number, different sign. These are the same number, same sign. So they are just binomials, the same binomial. Okay. Try C4 on your own.